What's up, everybody? How you doing? Christian Ballard Sports Media coming at you live on a Monday evening. I wanted to say afternoon, but it's like 7 o'clock. But I figured I'd start this up, man. I've been thinking about this for a little while, but it finally got around to me saying, all right, you know what, let's do this. We'll see if anybody shows up to it. It looks like we got one watching, but this is like an open discussion, Q&A type of thing. I'm not going to drop the link for this one, but we're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube, talking all things the NFL draft, anything to just kind of get it out there. So I have some notes on, obviously just kind of preparation, but like I do want to talk about the first thing, and we'll get to it in a second, but like what are some day two prospects that could sneak into Thursday? Who's most likely to trade up in the first round, whether it be a team that's not drafting in there, whether it be teams between the 20 to 32 range, maybe even the top five. Sometimes top five teams trade. Would the Jags be willing to trade the number one pick? Are they so desperate they got to take a guy at number one, right? Would they mind? Like, let's say if somehow the Lions say, you know what, we want the number one pick, which there's no reason for that. Would the Jaguars be okay just giving it away to the Lions? Hypothetically speaking, of course, I doubt that's going to happen. Why do you trade up one spot? If you're second overall, there's only one guy that you cannot take, and that's the guy that was taken at number one. Example, Aiden Hutchinson's off the board. All you cannot do is take Aiden Hutchinson, right? So there's a lot of different things we can talk about. It's open discussion. It's Q&A. If anyone wants to comment, feel free to. I want to share this out on Facebook here. Let's see. Maybe some friends show up. Let's see. Ballard Sports Media. I see a comment in there. Let me get to that in just 1 second. All right. Let's see who we got in here. What's up? What's up, Joseph? Hope you're doing good, man. Joseph Sandberg in here. He's got a pretty interesting question here. So Joseph Sandberg says, is the narrative on John Mechie being labeled injury prone or had a medical history overblown? I think it is. I don't really remember Mechie ever getting hurt at Alabama other than was it Auburn? No, not Auburn, because he had the game-winning touchdown. The Georgia game. He goes down on one of the first few plays. He's never really gotten hurt that I know of, but I'll tell you what, I think the term injury prone is used in so many different ways that people said Tua was injury prone. I could understand that because he was always limping, but he was still a darn good quarterback. But it seems like now, like as soon as a guy gets hurt, he's injury prone. Listen, people get injuries in football. It's a tough sport. It is a tough environment. It's a tough sport. You're gonna get hurt. You're gonna screw up. You're gonna have those times come. But John Mechie's not injury prone for sure. Now, is he going to be good in the NFL? Oh, I hope so. I hope he is. I think he will be. Think about it like this, though. One could become injury prone in the NFL. But as of right now, no. I mean, he's not. What's up, LW? Never heard that about Mechie other than the SEC title. That does it then. I'm okay with drafting Mechie round 2. Who's your team, Joseph? Remind me again. But, yeah, Mechie will go round 2 or 3. He should. I have him number 93 overall, and I think the 49ers could use an explosive guy like him. What's up, Nate? How you doing? Oh, the Dallas Cowboys. You do. Could you imagine him with don't you guys still have Amari Cooper? What's up, Nate? It's good to see Nate Kingston, Nate the Great in here. Love you, buddy. Good to see you. Again, taking any questions you guys have about the draft or anything you guys have to say. I don't want to drop the link on this one. I just kind of want to write it solo and really just have some good conversation with you guys. But yeah, let's go ahead and get to I'll go ahead and get into at least the first topic that I have tonight. So what are some day 2 guys that we're looking at that could sneak into round 1? Joseph Sandberg mentioned John Mechie about his injury and everything. Let's say if a team like that, and we'll talk more about that in a second, because I'm also looking at a guy like George Pickens. I think talent-wise, they're good enough to go in the first round. I just think because of injury, like even George Pickens, you got to remember before the playoffs, he really wasn't out there. I don't think he came back until Georgia Tech. He had, I think, a torn ACL or Achilles or something in the offseason that held him back for most of the year, and he didn't play. So you have a guy like George Pickens, or you have a guy like John Mechie that missed some games due to injury, where they don't have the first-round grades that, because of their talent, you'd expect them to have. I think, I think the guys that you see on day 2 that get drafted, that don't go in the first round, I think it's between maybe the 33, which is where the second round starts, to about 40. I think the 33 to 40 range, I know that's 7 picks in there, but I mean, you can't pick every single guy out there and say that they're a first round grade. I mean, there's a lot of players that I think are, such as, for example, Drake London out of USC. Is he a steal in the first round? I think he's a fast athlete. What about Matt Corral? Could he be a first-round quarterback? I think so. I just think that this quarterback class is so mixed up and everything outside of maybe Malik Willis, if he is QB1, like everyone's saying. You got Breece Hall from Iowa State, but it's kind of a rarity that you see a running back go in the first round, at least in recent years. Lewis Cine out of Georgia. Roger McCreary is a great corner from Auburn. Kingsley Inagbare. I mean, there's some of these guys. Kenyon Green. I have him 44 to the Browns to help build their O-line. And maybe I'm kind of crazy for that, but a guy like Ikeme Kwan, who's kind of risen up for the offensive tackle position. So is Daniel Falale from Minnesota. So I want to hear from you guys. Let me jump back into the comments here. It looks like we got 6 new comments. Let's see. Joseph says Lewis Cine. LW says he thinks on George Pickens going to the Packers. Yeah. I mean, what are some day 2 guys that could sneak up in there? I mentioned John Mechie. Without his injury, if he doesn't get hurt, he's a first-round wide receiver for sure. I got my Bucks taking Nakobe Dean at 27. I got Boy Mafea from Minnesota in there. Those are guys that could possibly fall out of there. Lewis Cine, Arnold Abikete, or BK, I don't know how you say it, but he's a defensive end from Penn State that's very, very fast and explosive on defense. I mean, those are guys. I think the early day 2 picks, if they go late in the first round, I think those are guys you steal. If you take a guy that's a 4th round grade in the first round, people are going to be like, but you have like 50 other guys ahead of him. You got 50 other picks until we get to this guy. So it's so weird. You mentioned George Pickens. You mentioned, what about running backs like Breece Hall? I think that's a steal. He could sneak up in there because he is very talented. I got him 38 overall to the Jets from Iowa State. But for all we know, I would hope the Bucs get a guy like Breece Hall. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think running back is their go-to priority right now. I think they need to work on the interior line on defense, just working on building up some more pass rush. But we'll see. You talk about Skye Moore. Where's he from again? Is it like Wyoming or something? Hold on. But Skye is going to be a good slot receiver. I agree. Skye Moore. Let me see. What school was that? Western Michigan. Yeah, he's going to be good. Nate DeGreat says, where's Daxton Hill going to go? I got Daxton Hill. Honestly, believe it or not, I got him a top 15 pick. I think he's going to go pretty high. I think the Texans can work on their secondary. So here's the Texans picks, because remember they traded Watson to the Browns. They got pick 13 in return. Daxton Hill at 13 to the Texans if they work on the secondary a little bit. And their first pick, I got Evan Neal at number 3. I could see Hill mid-teens, like 13, 14, 15. To late first round, yeah, I agree. I think if he's not a first-round pick, I think there's something wrong. I mean, at the very least, the Lions, who need a quarterback and whatever. I mean, the Lions need everything, but a lot of people, too. Let me ask you guys this. I know I'm taking the questions from you guys, but do you think the Lions use their first pick on a quarterback? Is that a good possibility? Because I'm seeing they're very high on Kayvon Thibodeau or other players, whether maybe they pick up Trayvon Walker or somebody at number 2. I don't know. I got him taking Thibodeau. I still got Trayvon Walker top 5. So let me remind you guys, I got the top 5. Aiden Hutchinson to the Jags. The Lions take Thibodeau. I think Evan Neal is going to go to the Texans, right? Ahmed Gardner could go top 5 to the Jets. If they need a corner desperately. Trayvon Walker, number 5, to round it out, he goes to the Giants. And then the first quarterback I got off the board at 6 with Kenny Pickett to the Panthers. What's up, Jacob? We got a crowd tonight, man. Let's go. People are sleeping on Jamiri Sawyer will be held. Aiden Hutchinson and Will Anderson, 0 sack. No, Jamari Sawyer's really, really good, man. Andrew Booth, your favorite DB, or greater than your favorite DB. I got Andrew Booth in the first round. I got him 30 to the Chiefs. They need a corner. I have a feeling it's edge player going to the Lions. I think with their first pick for sure. You know what they could do? The Lions are at 2. They could steal, if they really want a quarterback, and I don't think people are talking about it. I understand because of the Aiden Hutchinsons and the Kayvon Thibodeaus. But, man, if they really wanted to ruin someone's day, because the Panthers, I've heard a lot of stuff about Kenny Pickett. They take Kenny Pickett at number 2. You don't think Carolina's going to be ticked off? Had to stop myself there. Man. Oh, man, that would be something. There's a lot, man. Mock drafts are, you shouldn't get mad at a mock draft if it's incorrect. I think you get mad if it's stupid. But when it comes to mock drafts, it's all for fun. And my eyes, I just love mocking and just making predictions. But truly, when it comes time for the draft, I don't care who they take. Like the Bucs, I don't care if they get who I have them taking Nakobe Dean at 27. If we don't get Nakobe Dean, that's fine. Just get a great player, get some pass rush, build the O-line, get a secondary player, whatever they need to get. Just build your team. That's all you want to see in the NFL draft for your team. You don't care if you get your mock draft right. And if you do, I understand that. But, man, sometimes you just want to say, okay, it's not who I said they would take, but it's still a good pick, and that's what they need, and blah, blah, blah. So, I mean, corners would help out as well to help A.J. Terrell. Previously, Jacob put, in case anyone's wondering about that comment, he says Falcons need to get Trayvon Walker or any edge player that matters. Yeah, that's a good summary right there. Just draft a player with a plan. Yeah, draft a player that you could use, man. If you need a slot receiver, go with a slot receiver. If you need a running back, you need a quarterback, you need O-line, you need defense, whatever you need, just have a plan to use that player and help him maximize his potential to the best of his ability. And I think that's really what matters when it comes to the NFL and the NFL draft. You don't just draft a guy based on talent. Like the Jaguars should not have had. I don't know what they had in mind, other than here's this generational Trevor Lawrence, right? Trevor Lawrence isn't perfect. Now he's amazing. Don't get it twisted. There's always room for improvement. They should have went into that not only drafting him because he's this generational phenom that won as a true freshman over Alabama and did this or that. Not just that. Draft him in mind that, you know what? Not only is he talented enough, but I think he's great enough that he'll fit what we want to do with our offense. I think he'll fit in Jacksonville. I think Duval will need him, right? Have a plan to work with him. Same thing with Zach Wilson and the Jets. I just have a plan to utilize the player and help them exceed their potential. Wide receivers are fascinating to me this draft. I think some second-round guys could end up being better than a couple of the first-rounders. That's for sure, LW, especially we mentioned Mechie earlier. George Pickens. Watch out for Drake London of USC. That guy's got some hands on him. There's Drake London of USC. There's Justin Ross of Clemson. I got him in the third round, which I saw Jordan Bowman in here. That's not a knock on him or anything. I just, you got to think that from a media standpoint, you got to think of the guys that everyone's talking about. Nobody's really they should be, but nobody's really talking much about Justin Ross in this draft, I don't think. I could see a team drafting Parsons last year, only play him at line. Yeah. Right. I got you there, Joseph. Third round is higher than you're expecting. Where do you think he goes, Justin Ross? I think he's talented. I really do. Again, taking some questions too, man. We've had some good ones here tonight, but keep them coming. Where was I? Oh, I had one more thing that I wanted to talk about. We talked about day 2 guys that could sneak into round 1. Give me one second. What did I do? Here we go. Okay. He also didn't have a great pro day. Yeah, I saw that. All right, here's one for you. Want to hear from you guys in the chat, obviously. I have some thoughts on this. But what are some teams most likely to trade up in the first round, whether they have a pick there or not? Because some teams pick, some teams don't, like the Rams aren't in the first round. But what are some teams most likely to trade up a few spots, even if it's just one spot? I mean, if you trade up one spot for a tackle, Tristan Wirfs in the Bucks a couple years ago, but he's worked out. Teams most likely to trade up in the first round for QBs or other big-time prospects, right? We talk about trades. Who's most likely to be trying to trade? Because I'm seeing a lot of mock drafts without trades. Nakobe Dean will drop to the second round. That's a good possibility. I'm not doubting that. Do my Buccaneers have to trade up? I think they're okay at 27. It always depends on who you want. Like if the Bucs want a playmaking wide receiver, like a Garrett Wilson or Jahan Dotson or Jameson Williams, they got to get in the top 20. Or maybe at least the top 25. They're at 27, And I only have okay, how do I put this? Like Jahan Dotson. Yeah, I've kind of updated my mock draft a little bit. Jahan Dotson should be the first receiver off the board. When you think about, just with everything we talk about him is incredible. But I'm trying to. The Rams don't have the first round pick because I think that was part of the Stafford and who is it? Jared Goff. It's part of that trade. But there's a lot. The Seahawks have back-to-back picks on day 2. They have one at number 9. Because remember, they trade the Broncos trade. Do the Broncos try to trade with somebody else? Do they do something? The Eagles have 3 first-round picks. Could they be in the trade market just saying maybe we don't need an extra pick? Most teams drafting in the top half of the first round, so half of 32, 16. So we're talking maybe the top 15 range. Most teams drafting in the top half of the draft in round 1 want to trade down. So then obviously obviously I'd say vice versa too on that, Joseph, that teams in the bottom half want to trade up. Not every team, obviously, but okay, I don't think it's the Jags, right? Or the Lions can't afford to do that. But what about the Ravens at 14? They could afford to trade down. Who do they trade with? Do they let the Jets move up? Do they let the Patriots go up to around 14 to go get someone that could be off the board before? What if the Patriots, who need a big-time receiver, you imagine a trade where the Patriots go get 14 from the Ravens and they steal Jahan Dotson before the Saints or the Eagles or whoever might need a receiver? The Eagles are fine at receiver. I don't know why I said the Eagles, but there's certain teams. Could you imagine the Patriots got that guy for Mac Jones? Oh my gosh. NFL, go wild. Let's see. Eagles only have 2 first-round picks because of the weird Saints trade. Yeah, what was that trade, Joseph? Hold on. Did they even trade a player? Did they just – hold on. Eagles, Saints trade. Let me see. April 4th, 2022. I don't even think that they – so let's see. In the trade, the Saints received 2 first-round picks for this year, number 16 and number 19. I didn't update this, did I? No. Hold on. And then the Eagles received a 2022 first-round pick, so they're at 18. A 2023 first-round pick, a 2024 second-round pick, plus the 2022 third-round and seventh-rounders of this year. So they're at 101 and 237. Yeah, I got to update this because I didn't update for that trade. That's a good call. I'm glad you brought that up there. So they get 1 from the Saints. They get 237 from the Saints. 237. Let's see here. Right. So, and again, I mentioned teams most likely to trade up in the first round for quarterbacks, or it doesn't even have to be a quarterback, but I mean, there's always trades pre-draft, which I'll go back and fix this with the Eagles and Saints. That'll change a lot. You've had Drew Lock, Russell Wilson, Deshaun Watson to the Browns for pick number 13 for the Texans or whatever, and then some for Houston. What makes a good trade in the draft? I want to hear from you guys about that. I think it's even gain for both. I think when it's kind of 50-50 and both sides get the same amount of you hear people say, oh, they got the small end of the stick there or whatever. If they can get the same chunk of a stick or whatever, and it's even and it's clean, it's matched, you're good, right? I mentioned my Buccaneers. Could they move into the top 20 to 25 range? Again, we're at 27. Could they move up to get someone like Kyler Gordon, George Karlaftis? Because again, they're at 27. I'd kill if they traded with like the Cowboys or something, and they went to 24 and took someone like George Karlaftis, which I think he's that low because there are a couple other guys like David Ajabo or whoever. I don't know, but who's trading? Who is most likely to trade? Let's see. Nate says the Browns need a quarterback. They just got Deshaun Watson. They still have Baker Mayfield. Then again, I mean, the Eagles are said to be high on Williams. I hate Philadelphia sports. Hurts, Smith, and Williams, if they can have 500 yards and 41 points and lose, I'd be for that. Is that possible? I get you there. That's like I pull for players, but like I hate the Saints. Well, I got the Saints going after someone like I got him with Jahan Dotson, but they need a big time playmaking receiver. What if they got Jameson Williams? I like Jameson Williams from Alabama. I respect him because he went to Alabama. I respect all these players. The Saints, oh gosh. Where do you guys think? Where do the quarterbacks go in this draft? Let's talk about that. Let's talk some. Let's talk some quarterbacks here. Saints are 82 first round picks. 194 is theirs. The Eagles get 237 and 101. $237. Okay. Yeah, I got the Eagles and Saints trade worked out on my mock draft. Hurts has a prove it year because of next year draft picks. Yeah, so I didn't even think about that, but like, what are some make or break quarterbacks this year? Like, is Jalen Hurts in that hot seat category where if he doesn't perform well, especially if they draft, like, I think if they invest in Jalen Hurts in Philadelphia, if they invest in him, they work on the O line, they get some receiving weapons, they fix up, and get it together. And Coach Sirianni says, look here, here's the playbook. Here's what we got for you. Go after it and get it. If he can't figure it out, not to say Jalen is a bust, which I hope not, because he's my favorite player to watch, man. I love his story from when he was at Alabama. The fact that he didn't leave early and transfer right away and he stuck it out was a big deal, I think. So, I mean, is this like, is he on that list of quarterbacks where it's a make or break year? What about Tua and Miami? Mac's going to be in his second year. So, like, guys from last year's draft aren't anything like that. But I'll tell you what I'm interested to see is, does Watson start over Baker Mayfield? First off, if Baker Mayfield has a bad year, I think he's a bust. If they draft right, if they play their cards right in the draft and free agency and they're working with it, like, Baker Mayfield's one of those guys. He was drafted in what, 2018? 18, 19, 20, 21. He's entering year 5. I don't know. That's a good one, though. Other words, Hurts has a prove it year because of next year's draft picks. Eagles trade they made is setting them up to trade up for a QB next year. Hurts has his chance this year to solidify the job, and I hope he does, says LW. I agree. Yeah, I think he's one of those make or break quarterbacks this year. You're either going to make it out and prove that you belong on this team, or screw it, we're drafting a quarterback next year or going to free agency. Tom Brady doesn't have to do anything. Trevor Lawrence obviously isn't in that position. I don't think Zach Wilson's in that position. I don't think Fields. I don't think anybody from last year's draft is. I think it's all about year 2, maybe after year 2, going into your 3rd year as a starting quarterback. That's when it's do or die, because you get the first year, that's like a trial run. Then you try to get the pieces right. If you're in a reasonable situation, right? You get the pieces. They give you the tools in year 2 and say, all right, you can't screw this up, or you got to do something for us because we're helping you out. Darnold is done. See, like Sam Darnold, that was 2018. It's been 4 years. I think Darnold's a bust. Baker Mayfield's part of that same class. Kyler Murray's done great. And he was like the year after, wasn't he? When the Cardinals, the Cardinals had the first pick. They took Kyler Murray. He won the Heisman. Yeah. Kyler's doing good. I think Kyler's doing good, and the Cardinals just got to build around him. Stafford won a Super Bowl. Jared Goff has been a bust. Who else is out there? R.I.P. to Dwayne Haskins. Prayers to his family still, because I know that's pretty recent and sad. Who are some of the recent quarterbacks? Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Watts. Look, if it doesn't work out with Watson and the Browns, I mean, I know they got Baker Mayfield. See, that's so weird. That's almost unfair to Watson. It's almost unfair to Baker Mayfield, right? Wentz is on his last chance. Yeah. Oh, Drew Lock. That's a good one. I liked him at Missouri. The Broncos got him. Yeah. Hold on. He's in Seattle. What about who the Colts have? They still got, let me see. Colts quarterback. Let me double check. They got Matt Ryan. Sam Ellinger hasn't really been given a starting chance. What do you guys think? Like, is Matt Ryan just getting to that old age? Like, should he just give up yet? What about the Colts? Like, what about the Colts quarterback position? I mean, is it going to be Matt Ryan right away? Man. Any other questions from anybody that they have on the draft this year? We've had some good ones actually. Who was in the let's see, 2020 QB draft class? Who was after Burrow and Tua in that class? Justin Herbert. See, the 2020 guys are doing great. Tua, Herbert, Joe, right? They're doing pretty good. I like the Chargers for the West this year if they could get some stuff together. Of course, 2020 had Jalen Hurts, had Joe Burrow. Jordan Love just needs to be given a chance to start, but he's in a position where it's like he's just held captive. Like let Jordan Love play somewhere, man. I know the Packers. Look, they got Aaron Rodgers. How high would you draft a center? Well, Landon Dickerson was like second round to the Eagles last year. I guess it depends. I could make a case if he's good enough, the 20 to 32 range somewhere in the first round. If he's good enough, maybe a team needs that key center and up front O lineman. I think there could be a case for that. Nate, I don't know, man. I don't even know where Hutchinson's going. I mean, he could go to Jacksonville. I think he'll do great wherever he does end up. How many tackles or sacks? I think he starts low. I think he could do like 3.5 to 4 sacks to start. I don't think he has the biggest of rookie seasons. But he's gonna be you know, he's gonna be a star. We'll just have to wait and see what Jacksonville can do with him, if that is who they go with. Tyler Linderbaum, that's right, man. I got him as a first-round grade. Tyler Linderbaum from Iowa is really good. I actually have him number – crap. I had him in my first round, I thought. Tyler I'm going to have to fix this now. Hold on. I had him number. I'm going to give him to the Packers at 22. Trevor Penning out of Northern Iowa is good. These are good questions, man. I love y'all. I appreciate you guys coming on. We'll keep it going. I didn't know how this would turn out. We've had some good questions so far, actually. Some really good ones. Let me ask you guys this. Any Falcons fans in here? I know I'm kind of taking questions, like I said, but I do want to hear from you guys. Do the Falcons – let me ask you this. Let me put it up, too, because this will be a big one. Hold on. Do the Falcons draft a quarterback in this year's draft? Oh, man, this will be good. I know they got Mariota. I know they got a couple guys on the chart. But, I mean, is Mariota for Atlanta, is he a long-term answer? Do the Falcons take a go? At some point, they got to find that guy. That's their franchise dude. I don't know if they're going to draft a quarterback. I mocked them. I didn't. Now, this was before the Mariota deal, but I had them taking the Nevada kid, which actually he is a pretty interesting quarterback, but I had him taken in like the third or second round. I know maybe that's a little crazy. I don't know. But the Falcons I think they need to draft a quarterback just to have a developmental guy, because even if they're starting Mariota, let's say if things don't work out there. I mean, Mariota was okay with the Raiders. He was great with the Titans. Then they finally just let him go and went with Ryan Tannehill. Joseph Hamburg says it's an interesting question. I agree. I came up with it, so. But yeah, do the Falcons draft a quarterback? Should they draft a quarterback? I say personally, if I am the Falcons, even if, you're not just going to keep re-signing and re-signing and re-signing Mariota. You're not going to do that. And if you do, great. Maybe things are just working out and it takes them a couple different contracts and you say this is who we want long term. But even if they got rid of Matt Ryan, who do they have? A.J. Mccarron at backup? I love my guy A.J. Mccarron. Great at Alabama. I don't think he's an NFL guy, though. That's the thing. You got to have guys on the depth chart that you can trust and say we can develop them and use them when we need to if our number one guy goes down. You have to be able to do that. You need a quarterback. You need multiple quarterbacks on the depth chart. You do need that. Do the Falcons draft one? You know who they could get? You know what they could steal? Now, I have him going to the Commanders at 47. Is Matt Corral from Ole Miss. Whoo, boy. Could you imagine Matt Corral to the Falcons at 40? They got 43 overall. Could you imagine? That's something they could do. Matt Corral, Malik Willis, or Sam Howell could work. I guess is what Joseph is saying. I think one of those three sounds right. Again, like if they take Malik Willis, they got to take a quarterback in the first round. I have their first round pick is Kyle Hamilton, the safety out of Notre Dame, to help with the secondary, a guy you could work with alongside Terrell. Matt Corral, Malik Willis, or Sam Howell. Yeah, I agree. Those three guys at the first round. It wouldn't surprise me too much if they took one of those guys in the first round. I mean, if they go quarterback, they go quarterback. Man, I don't know. What would surprise me is if they don't address that at all in this draft based on letting Matt Ryan go to the Colts. And like I said, I like Marcus Mariota. I think he's great. I don't know if it's the long-term thing for the Falcons. And like I said, do you trust the depth chart? Ran a similar system in UNC, maybe round 2. Yeah, I'm not sure what exactly he ran at UNC, but yeah, round 2 would work. Overall, the bottom line is that the Falcons need a quarterback, whether they take them day 1, day 2, or day 3. They just got to pick somebody up or sign someone in free agency. And you don't have to start the guy right away. You can go with Marcus Mariota. You can go with whoever you want to go with. But I just think that it's probably important to try and run that, just take that chance. The Falcons, do they need to draft a quarterback? I think they do at some point. Do they draft a quarterback? I can't tell you that. I mean, I'm mocking it just in case so I can say, hi, I told you they draft a quarterback, even though I really don't know what Arthur Smith wants to do, the Falcons head coach. We'll just have to wait and see what Atlanta does. But, man, it's over for Matt Ryan over there. You got to be happy. Look, I don't know. At least they got him. I mean, next year, Joseph, you say this year, next year. If it's next year, how do we are they tanking for Bryce Young? Hold on. What if this will be answered after the draft. If they don't take a quarterback or they take a guy that's not going to do them any good, they're tanking for Bryce Young. And I'm going to pull for whatever team drafts Bryce Young because I pull for my guy right there from Alabama. I don't want to pull for the Falcons, though, so I hope and I pray that I'm wrong about this. Although if Bryce Young ends up there, so be it. You know what? Go do your thing, Bryce. But how do we know? Man, oh, my God. Who do you guys think? I know it's early, but who do you think is going to be tanking to try to get Bryce? Who is that team? Who's going to go get my guy? We'll see. I agree with Joseph, though. It's either this year or next year. You'll have DJ in next year's class. You'll have Stetson. They want to take a Georgia quarterback? Maybe. We'll see. Any more questions from the comments? I know I've asked you guys some. But again, I kind of made this one. I wanted to get your questions about the NFL draft. If anybody has any more, I could go live for 10 more minutes. Try not to be on here too long. Really wanted to just go for an hour, but we still got a little while for that. But want to hear from you, the people. Organic tank, maybe Lions. Yeah. I'll tell you what, the teams that do need a quarterback that don't draft one this year, those are the teams to watch out for that could get the Bryce Young sweepstakes. Hope the Lions pick Bryce. Get out of here, Nate. No, come on. The Lions are cursed. Lions are cursed. Oh, that's a good one, Joseph. Crap, I don't know. I mean, it's the defensive side of the ball for sure. He says, Joseph says, what is the deepest position of talent in this draft? Good question. I know it's on defense because I see a lot. Trayvon Walker, Kayvon Thibodeau, Hutchinson. I probably say edge. I don't know because you got guys like Kingsley Inaugure. You got Sam Williams from Ole Miss. You got Maya Sanders of Cincinnati. I'm looking at my draft here. Drake Jackson of USC. It's a deep defensive edge rusher, pass rush type of class. George Karlaftis of Purdue. That's a good one. I'm going to personally say the edge class. You got to think deep. Like it's quality, not quantity. I know a lot of times we want to say, oh, well, there's like 20 different guys they could choose from that position, but 20 different prospects to choose from versus 5 guys that are truly elite that are going to do something good for you along the way. David Ajabo, that's a good one. Someone could steal Ajabo. Yeah, I'm going to say the edge rush position is probably the deepest of this class for sure, Joseph. But again, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, I don't know that for sure, but I have mocked a lot of edge rushers so far in my mock draft. Within the first 2 rounds, I probably got maybe 5 different guys. So it starts off pretty early too, and there's always guys going, in the later rounds on day 3. Kayvon Thibodeau, Aiden Hutchinson, Trayvon Walker. I mean, it's a deep class. Love day 3 edge players, so it makes sense. Yeah, you could get some good ones on day 3 too. Nate says it's possible Bryce could get a ring with the Lions. Oh man. Look, I know we joke about teams that are unfixable, but if you get the right coach and the right players, yeah, you can fix it. But he's not getting a ring with the Lions team they got right now. That's not happening, Nate. You get 1 or 2 guys for the Falcons, though. See, the Falcons, if they can fix their secondary a little more and they get a quarterback, he might get a ring there. Bro, look how the Bengals looked last year and they went to the Super Bowl. Oh, that's a good point. Yeah, the Lions are cursed. Look at this. Barry Sanders, no. Matt Stafford, no. Calvin Johnson, no. LW makes a good point there. We'll go live for maybe 5 more minutes to make it an hour on here, but we'll see. I'll give you guys 5 more minutes, rapid fire. Whether it's draft related or not, I don't care. But any more questions? Vikings are also cursed. Yeah, but at least the Vikings don't necessarily suck. They just can't ever get over a hump or 2. Everyone thought the Bengals were trash. The Bengals were trash, Nate. They just had to make the right moves to get a quarterback. That's fair. And they did that, and I credit them. Hold on. Caden Clark, a 3-star class of 21 recruit from Alabama, is going to Akron. He's going to transfer right away. Dang. Well, best of luck to him. We'll be fine. All right. Any more questions? Let's see. Oh, a lot of rumors saying Eagles' preference at number 15 from Mick Shea says Jameson Williams. That'd be something. Jalen Hurts and 2 Alabama receivers. Nice. Yes. Let's go. You guys think any running backs go in the first round? Any running backs? Do I have any? Let's see. Did I take? I did not have a running back go in the first round. I don't have a running back until Breece Hall, and I think the Jets get him at 38. Breece Hall would be the guy to take in the first round. I just don't know if anyone's that desperate for a running back this year, at least for the first round. We'll see. Joseph says maybe 1 or 2. Okay. I started 38. I got the Jets taking Breece Hall. Then I got the Seahawks taking a running back at they got back-to-back picks with 40 and 41. Isaiah Spiller from A&M. Kenneth Walker, 50 to the Chiefs. Michigan State, they could use a better explosive back. They could work on that a little bit more. Zamir White, I got the Jets taking 2 running back. I got to fix this. Hold on. Who else needs a running back? Running back could sneak in the first round with the Bucs. I've heard a lot about Breece Hall to the Bucs. I'm praying for that one there. If Jeff Webster's listening, man, I hope we can steal Breece Hall. That's a steal right there. That is a steal for the Bucs. If they take a running back at 27, it will be Breece Hall. No questions asked. Class dismissed. All right. Any other questions? Otherwise, I'm going to shut it off. Ten, 9, 8, 7. Yes, Nate. They might even. I think they'd have a good chance to win the Big Ten again. I just think you got to be careful because I do think that C.J. Stroud and company at Ohio State with that experience can step it up. Yeah, they'll be good. You'll be all right, bud. All right, we're an hour into the stream. I'm gonna get off here. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. He's got a great plan. Thanks so much, everyone, for showing up and asking some great questions tonight, too, man. I have to clip some of these later, but I hope everyone has a blessed week ahead. Stay tuned. We got draft stuff all week long, doing some hangouts, maybe some more videos, and I'll be live Thursday night for the first round of the draft. So I love y'all. Jesus loves you. God bless. And as
Roll
always,
down Tide.
Roll Tide. Love y'all. Your boy Ballard checking out. Peace.